Good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing? My name is Jewel, and this is the Tropical Update for this evening, Sunday, August 23rd, 2020. What's going on? What are we going to find this time? Well, we got something new to look at. I tell you what, it looks like Marco is going to die down. I know it's a hurricane now. We're going to check everything out. Before I go any further, everybody, please click Show More right under this video, and that's where your watches and warnings and what may be going on in your areas that you need to prepare for will be found, okay? Don't forget to do that. We're looking at the satellite here, and what's going on, it looks like Marco may kind of die down a little bit, might not even hit tomorrow. How about that? It's looking like Laura is going to intensify to at least a Category 2 and may become a major Category 3 before it's over. And remember just a few days ago when I was telling you about the Fujiwara effect? Well, it looks like it's happening. Let's go check it out. This is the NavGem model. This is over at My Fox Hurricane, but it showed, and when I pulled it up and looked at it, I was going, wow, it looks like they're going to dance around. Remember how I told you, here's Marco, okay, and this is Laura right here, that the weaker system, when they got within a little over 800 to 900 miles apart, it would look like they were kind of just dancing around each other, and the weaker of the systems would continue to weaken. And the majority of whatever kind of center it had, that doesn't mean it's going to make a huge storm, so don't bug out on me, but the bigger system would pick it up. But watch this. And this is at 9 hours. Now watch them. Remember, this is Marco. This is where Laura's going to be. And it doesn't mean this is going to happen, but it looks like it's going to. Now, it gets right there, close to the coast of Louisiana, but it doesn't go in. And then they're both in the same region, with the distance apart that it would take for this to happen. Then they start just dancing around. See how they're dancing around, looking like it's one big system? Isn't that cool? I wanted to show that to you so you would see it. Also, before I get going, of course, this is Marco right here as of now. Looks pretty impressive. It is a Category 1 hurricane, but it is going to look like it's going to die out, folks. Of course, here is Laura, and Laura is, the main center is south of the Dominican Republic. It's moved more over to the south edge of things, looking like it will go over Cuba up in this area, but it might stay a little south and just come off this tip. That's what I'm thinking it's going to do, and that's what might cause that effect. The reason I haven't got into everything big time yet, remember the little system over here that the Hurricane Center's not even looking at now? Well, here it is on the European model about around September the 2nd. I wanted just to show you, here it is looking like it's going to really try to get its act together, so we'll keep our eyes on it, and we'll see what comes of this too. It may not come of anything, so we'll just watch it and see what happens. But I've said all along I thought something may come out of it, and the European model is picking something up now. This is around September the 2nd. Now, I'm going to turn the satellite on in motion, and I'm going to tell you what is going on. First, we will start with Marco. Now, Marco is still moving north-northwest around 11 knots, and the model guidance is in good agreement now on the north-northwest and then northwest motion into Monday morning. Now, as Marco nears the northern Gulf Coast, there has been a major shift in the track. That's right, there's been a major shift in the track. Now, it's looking like all of the models now keep Marco offshore of the northern Gulf Coast for the next few days, rather than moving it inland over Louisiana Monday afternoon. Now, since this shift was so abrupt, I would rather split the difference between the previous forecast tracks and the latest consensus tracks until a round of some more model runs can confirm a more suggestive track that you'd have more confidence in. And based on the shift in the track, tropical storm conditions are expected farther west along the Louisiana coast, and a tropical storm warning has been issued from Morgan City to Cameron, Louisiana. Now, it should be noted that if the trend and the models are correct, some of the impacts over portions of the north-central Gulf Coast could be lessened. Current shear, that's what's happening, is showing that Marco is experiencing right now about 20 to 25 knots of southerly shear. Yet Marco has been able to slowly strengthen in this environment today, likely due to the moisture. All of the moisture in the atmosphere and the very warm waters. Now, by late tonight and through Monday, the ship's guidance suggests that the shear will increase even more, maybe over 30 knots, and this should limit any further intensification, and it's looking like it's going to cause Marco just to weaken before it nears the northern Gulf Coast Monday afternoon. Now, by Monday night, the shear is forecast to increase to close to 40 knots, which should strip the convection away from the center of the cyclone, causing it to weaken. This goes back to Fujiwara. Now, after 48 hours, Marco is expected to become a remnant low, deep convection area. That's all, okay? Just a remnant low, deep convection area. Right now, it's looking like when it hits inland, wherever it hits, when it hits probably in 36 hours, the winds will have come down to around 60 miles per hour. Now, let's check out Laura. Laura is a big deal to me. I'm kind of worried about Laura, and I think everybody should take Laura very, very seriously. Now, there has been this recent uptick in convection when it comes to Laura near the center, and you can see here in the imagery, it's looking like an increase in bandings going on. See how all of the clouds are getting together? It's getting its act together, even as it goes across portions of Dominican Republic up here. Now, as you can see, though, it's moved further south down in this area. So, Jamaica, you're going to get some of this too, so be on the outlook for it, okay? It's looking like Laura continues to move briskly west-northwestward, and looking like the track forecast reasoning remains the same as the previous one did. Now, we're going over to the National Hurricane Center and check everything out. Laura should continue to move west-northwestward to the south of a deep layer ridge that is forecast to build westward across Florida and the eastern Gulf of Mexico during the next day or two. Now, it's looking like the track guidance has continued to edge southward for the portions of the forecast near Cuba, and forecast has again been moved in that direction. Now, Laura should continue moving west-northwest over the southeastern Gulf Tuesday, but a turn toward the northwest is expected Tuesday night as Laura nears the western portion of the ridge. Now, we have a northwestward to northwestward motion that should then continue around the western portion of that ridge until the cyclone reaches the northwestern Gulf Coast. Looking like the latest run of the European model has shifted slightly eastward, and it's still looking, however, though, its ensemble mean, and many of the stronger ensemble member models remain farther to the west, as a stronger cyclone is likely to be steered more westward by this deep layer ridge. Now, the GFS, the UK Met, and the HWRF remain close to the previous track, so little change has been made to that right now. Now, the intensity forecast, listen up and listen good, during the next 24 hours is highly dependent on the track and the amount of interaction Laura has with Cuba. Now, if the storm stays along the southern coast or just offshore, the environment of warm water and low vertical wind shear could allow for some slight strengthening, but little overall change in intensity. It's indicated during the next 24 hours. Nothing should happen within the next 24 hours. But after the center clears the western Cuba area, the upper level wind patterns predicted to be quite favorable for the storm as it traverses the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Now, the GFS, the UK Met, and the regional hurricane models all indicate significant deepening. The National Hurricane Center intensity forecast has been adjusted to upward. Although they don't show it a lot, but it's looking like Laura could threaten the northwestern Gulf Coast near a major hurricane strength. Now, I'm telling you folks, these winds are going to get up looking like at least 105 miles per hour sustained. Well, we're talking about if it does that, we're going to get up to pretty close. It's probably going to get even higher than that. So we're going to maybe, it's going to be a 2 anyway. I feel like I'm pretty sure of that as of now. It could get up to a category 3. So don't mess with Laura. When it comes to Laura, we're going over now, and Marco, to the National Hurricane Center and check out their latest maps. Alrighty, here we go with Marco. The winds are 75 miles per hour. It is a Cat 1 right now. Minimum central pressure 991 millibars. If you're tracking, if you are a seaman and you are out in the Gulf, it is located at 25.8 north, 87.8 west. It's moving north-northwest at 13 miles per hour. Laura. She's got winds of 60 miles per hour, and minimum central pressure keeps falling. Right now it's 1,000 millibars. Located 19.5 north, 75.2 west, moving west-northwest at 21 miles per hour. Now you remember everything I have just showed you, and you remember I have just told you Monday's not going to be the day, and the National Hurricane Center tracking map is showing that it may be Tuesday right here. As of now, though, around Louisiana, everywhere in red, up in these areas, and a little bit of Mississippi, if you're in the red, that's a hurricane warning. Now, we have a tropical storm watch over in Alabama, and where you see this pink right in here, this is a hurricane warning and watch also. Everything in the blue is tropical storm warnings. And you can see how it's going to weaken before it hits land. And we saw them dancing around right in this area on the other model. Should drop down to tropical storm, and when it does graze the coast, it's not going to come in Louisiana, but graze the coast, it looks like right now, that should be Tuesday afternoon, and then Wednesday, and all day Wednesday, all this portion of Texas, you should be getting rain out of it, maybe tornadoes. These things do spawn tornadoes, as you know, and also in Louisiana in this area here. So just keep your eyes open. Please check your local forecast. Keep up with your local weather forecast, and please listen to your local authorities on either of these storms. Now, as we look at Laura, Laura is still a tropical storm. You can see down around the Dominican Republic, and also all of Cuba right in here. You can see all of these areas. This is a tropical storm warning. Now, down in the Keys, Key West, all the Keys, and in southern Florida, in the island area, everybody, this is a tropical storm watch. Now, you can see that by Wednesday, just about the same time, just maybe 24-hour difference from the time Hugo finally makes his little march across as a depression area, bringing lots of rain over in this portion of Texas. This is when she's going to catch up and come in. So, hold on one second, be right back. Okay, sorry about that, folks. Now, we're looking at Laura. Now, as Laura tracks on up and becomes a hurricane, I think this map will change from just hurricane to maybe, we'll have to wait and see. I hope it's not too bad. I hope it stays just a hurricane. But at this time, let me see here. All my papers and notes have flown everywhere when the phone rang. But I've done some more research, and it's looking like right now, of course, remember, all of this can change. We all know this. It changes every time I do a report just about. But it's looking like Laura is going to come in somewhere around Port Arthur, okay? And then it's going to move up, and it can go into the Beaumont area. And also, it can do a lot of stuff over in Bellevue, I hope I said that right, Louisiana. So it's going to be right in this area. Don't follow the track, folks. This is going to wobble around some before it's all over. My suggestion is, if you live anywhere in this cone area of Texas, anywhere in this cone area of Louisiana, especially on the western portion of Louisiana, you're going to feel wind from this if it's a Category 2 hurricane. Everywhere. I'm not saying it's going to be devastating. If it goes to a Cat 3, it's going to be devastating in very many places. You don't mess with those at all. And you really don't mess with this one. There's going to be rain galore. There's going to be flooding galore. Everybody needs to pay attention. And this system's going to track right on up. I've seen this on many models. This hasn't changed that much. Up into Arkansas, could go over western Tennessee, right on up till it turns into a post-tropical depression in Kentucky. So, please be aware of what's going on. Please stay safe. This is what things are looking like right now. With the good Lord's will and the creek don't rise, I'll be back in the morning, and who knows what will have changed then. I tell you what, folks, these storms is about to take the wind out of my sail. I am working like a bee in a tar bucket. I'm that busy. So please, I know you think I'm a hick just because I say these things, but we got to lighten the mood a little bit. We have to lighten the mood because Laura could be a very bad storm. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong entirely, but it's looking like before Laura's winds are over, that they are going to be at least sustained at 105 miles per hour. That's not even talking about the gust. That's sustained winds. Can your house stand that? Are you ready for that? And it looks like that those winds could be that high in the next 72 hours. So I would suggest everybody in all of these areas, go ahead and prepare if you haven't. In this Texas area here, all of this Texas area, Louisiana. Now by the time it moves on out of this area here and gets up to Arkansas and all around here, it'll just be a depression center. So, you know, the winds aren't going to be that bad, but still buckets of rain could come down. So everybody needs to be aware and stay safe. But if you are in this area right in here, you guys, you know if you live in those areas, need to prepare. Check on your neighbors, check on the elderly, check on the handicapped. Make sure your pets are taken care of. Make sure you've got your supplies up, you've gassed your car up. Electricity could be off for a while. There may not be any gas available. If you have any gas run generators, you need to make sure you got you some gas up. So you need to go ahead and do this stuff now, and don't wait. And don't follow this track per se, because it can jog anywhere. Who knows where it can go? It could jog a little more to the east. It could jog a little more to the west. But you see how big this cone is. That's what you need to concentrate on right now. I love you guys. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Thank you to all my subscribers. Please click that subscribe button down there that says J7409 Weather. Click the bell, check off all to ensure you get all my latest videos. I would appreciate it so very much. Have a good evening, a safe evening, and a blessed evening. And peace, love, and kindness to each and every one of you. Thanks for watching.